Watching the Ohio State-Penn State game last night, I really came to the foregone conclusion that Ohio State's going to win the Big Ten this year, and I don't really think they're going to have any competition. And that might be a gimme to some people, and it's pretty obvious, but this year, next year, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, I don't know if anyone's toppling them. I don't, honestly, 6 years from now, if you said Ohio State won their ninth consecutive Big Ten championship, or ninth or 10th, then it would be like, okay, it wouldn't be surprising to me at all. The way they looked against Penn State, which should have been their biggest competitor this season on the schedule, was a college football game day, huge game. They just dismantled them. It was 38-25. The score might look closer than it actually was. Justin Fields had 20 for 34, 318 yards. He averaged 9.4 yards per pass and 4 touchdowns with a QBR of 97.2. And overall, their offense just dominated them. They only had 208 rushing yards as a team, and that really wasn't the story. 208 rushing yards is a pretty decent amount of rushing yards, and if you look at the opening plays, three plays they scored on 2 huge rushing attempts. Master Teague did good. He did the best on the team. 23 carries, 110 yards, a touchdown. Then Garrett Wilson had 1 carry, 62 yards, and that he had the first carry on the team, and that was the huge run that got the entire team kind of pumped up, kind of got him in just in the driver's seat. He got the handoff. I think it was a sweep to the left, and then he got a good block, and 62 yards later, and then 3 plays later they scored. So looking at the rest of their schedule, I really don't know who else can really upset Ohio State. Well, actually, what's really funny right now is if you look at the standings for the Big Ten East, it's Ohio State, Indiana, Maryland, Rutgers, Michigan State, Michigan, and Penn State, which is absolutely crazy. That's unprecedented. You would never think that would happen, but anything can happen in 2020. But yeah, looking at their schedule, I don't know, Indiana, Michigan State maybe can upset them. Michigan's not going to upset them. Even if Michigan was at their best right now, they would not upset them. I don't think anyone can beat them really unless Indiana kind of pulls off an upset. Maybe Michigan State can do it like a little 2015 upset where the defense goes crazy. I don't even know if that can happen against Justin Fields. He's too good of a quarterback. But overall, Penn State's not going to lose to anyone this year. They're going to walk into the playoffs. I don't know. Who are they going to play first? Maybe Clemson. So I think they'll have a harder chance against Alabama than Clemson. They've had recent struggles against Clemson in the past years. Clemson has a deadly rushing attack, and they did look very weak against Boston College, though. So either way, they're definitely a lock for the Big Ten. Might be a lock for one college football playoff win. I'd put them in the national championship right now. I don't know if they're a lock for winning the national championship, but Ohio State's had unprecedented wins and seasons coming into the 2000s. In the past 20 years, I'm pretty sure they're the most consistent team in all of college football. And if I were them, if I was an Ohio State fan, I would just soak it up all right now. And I don't know if it's ever going to stop for them, but I don't know if it will, because Ohio State just recruits, coaches, gets the best coaches, best recruits, best QBs. They're literally like one of the most solid college football programs in history of college football. And it just sucks. It sucks being anyone else besides them. And you want to beat them, but you're not going to beat them. Doesn't matter. Like this year, next year, I don't know. Maybe if we get J.J. McCarthy, no, it's not going to happen. We're not going to beat Ohio State. Unless I see major coaching changes defensively, we get a great QB on equivalency of Justin Fields, maybe then. But overall, no, we're not going to beat them. This is the Victors Podcast. Go Blue. Ohio State's winning the Big Ten championship again. Most likely a lock for the national championship. So, yeah, that's basically where we are. That's basically how it is like every year since 2014, 2000s. I don't know. Whatever you want. Jim Tressel era, Urban Meyer, Ryan Day now, whatever era you want. They're basically a lock for the Big Ten championship and college football playoffs. So this is the Victors Podcast. As always, go Blue.